let's take a look at, there's a demo of Ms. Pac-Man on the device. Looks kind of cool, so just so you can see how it works. And it also works with swipe gestures for navigation, which is kind of cool. Turn on the sound in this case. And let's see, we're going to use swipes. A little hard to play from my position here. You can see I'm just swiping my thumb where the joystick is to try to control it. Takes a little getting used to, but I'm sure there are plenty of people out here that would be able to make do with it even if I can't. So I'm just obviously not that coordinated. But you can see it looks pretty nice on the display. Now you can suspend Java applications like this, come back to them later, or we can just exit out of them, which is what I'm going to do here. Bunch of demo apps, not a lot of things preloaded with full versions. You see the mobile email listed there. You can also access that from the messaging system. The problem with mobile email is it just doesn't support enough mail systems. You can see you've got Yahoo, AOL, AIM, Windows Live, AT&T, Yahoo, Bell South, and a couple of others. That's about it. It's really limited support. There's not even Gmail there. And while we have installed some Google applications on here, let's see, I think Gmail was listed in here, right? We'll do Google Maps instead. There's problems with the data. It always wants to verify that you're giving it access to the data. Does this constantly. You're moving around, you're switching map views or whatever. Let's see, I always forget you can't use the touchscreen here. Now see, it's asking me again. Really annoying. I mean, it works, but it's not something you're going to be using all that much. One cool thing you can use is the internal accelerometer. It's just a simple dice game. You shake it, and the dice move. Device vibrates as they're moving around. It's, I don't know what it would be useful. Oh, snake eyes. What do we know? But it's kind of cool demonstration of the accelerometer nonetheless. Snake eyes twice. I sense a poor random number generator somewhere. Anyway, let's get out of this. And here I've got the MobileBurn, the mobile version of the MobileBurn website pulled up in the web browser. It's a full HTML browser, even though this is just a mobile site. We'll pull through so you can see the full version. But I just want to show you, it also works in landscape mode. And you use the volume controls, which are located down here at the bottom, to control zooming. You can also do it on screen, but the hardware key is a little bit easier to use. Right now we're in full screen mode, but if we tap on this little icon here in the corner, it brings up the full controls. So I could add a bookmark or access the existing bookmarks that we have. And you can see we can scroll through them here. Back key. Back, forward, home button, refresh, manually pull up the zoom control, and of course, you can see some history and stuff like that. Let's go through to the main version of the website. It's probably going to take a little while to load. We're on a HSDPA connection. Speeds are pretty decent. We're getting about, I don't know, 500, 600 in this area, which is pretty typical for HSDPA on AT&T's network in my particular area. I'm sure you're going to get a lot faster in certain urban environments and things like that, but you can see it coming up. Things are a little formatted funny right now, but they're going to straighten themselves out quite quickly. It's still loading, but things will fall into place as it gets closer to being done loading. If I can bring it back up here. Now, of course, it'll be easier if we zoom a bit. Get a better overview of what is going on here, so you can see that it's actually doing a pretty decent job of rendering the page. But even though it's doing a decent job of rendering it and everything's where it's supposed to be, it's not really that easy to use. The fonts are a little jagged, and there's no intelligent zooming control. You're not just double tapping and things aren't happening automatically like you would on an iPhone or some other devices. Even the Blackberries handle the zooming much better than on this device. So it's decent. You can really see some real web pages and stuff, but it's not going to replace a desktop. The full version of YouTube does not work properly on this. This device seems to have Flash support, but some of the websites seem to detect it, but nothing has really been using it properly that I can tell, other than maybe advertisements, which isn't all that impressive as far as I'm concerned. So that's our look at the Samsung A877 Impression, new messaging multimedia device for AT&T. Pretty good looking package, clean lines, smooth curves, feels nice in the hand, and really a top-notch touchscreen display. It's a resistive touchscreen, but really that's not a problem. And just the AMOLED, it just comes through with such brilliant colors and everything. Would have really liked a better camera. The 3-megapixel camera on this does pretty decently, but autofocus would have been a really nice touch for a device with such a beautiful display. Other things missing, 3.5mm audio port. It really ought to be on a device like this, I think. But in general, pretty pleased with it. I think it's going to make a lot of people happy. So there you have it, the Samsung Impression for AT&T. I'm Michael Orrell from MobileBurn.com.